queso.
You sounded really confused about
I
that.
kind of thought you were going to put your headphones on because you want to do a sound check. But
I said when I got settled.
settled means he has a drink in his hand. That's when he's settled. That's when we know he's settled. So I thought the headphones weren't necessary. Let me check it out. Talk.
Yeah. I'm not putting them on this time.
You're not going to put them on.
No, I didn't want to wear them this time.
You look at dorky or something? 'Cause
I just decided not to wear them.
You decided not to wear 'em.
Just simple as that.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Well, guess what? We're talking about, I don't know why we haven't done this before. We're going to talk drones. We got one unique Q500 drone that we bought earlier this year. There's another one right here, by the way, Scoochie. That we crashed that one on Washington Avenue. Well, it was one of the most depressing days ever. Broke the leg off. The camera was completely shattered. It was disgusting.
This.
It landed in the. Oh, God. Oh, it hurt. Oh, ow, 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 ow.
That's.
It hurts just looking at it. It landed in the middle of Washington Avenue. And the valet came out and picked it up and saved it.
I mean, overall, though, it held together. Overall, the craft itself is still.
Yeah, it's salvageable. We can put a new body on it and put it back in the air. We since bought a second drone that Marcus has at his house. This is the first one. Well, actually, the second one.
So there's three. There's three of them now.
We have three of them now, both of which Marcus's and this one are both usable airborne. And so with that one, we're going to use it again, but we're not going to be able to place the camera because that thing was shattered. It was really.
It'll be a. You can fly it, but it won't. It'll just be a drone that can fly. It won't be.
And so its use is
video,
limited.
There'll be no video capability.
Yeah, the video is gone. The coolest thing about these drones is that you got this thing right here. The ground station is such where you've got a video screen where you're flying it and you can see on the video screen what the thing is doing. You can see every angle that the camera sees. And that really is a huge aid, not only in your flying of the craft, but your ability to see what you're recording or what you're taking still shot photographs of. It's an amazing thing.
Until you lose your video feed.
Marcus, he's all about distance. He'll fly the damn thing 1,500 linear feet away from the ground station. In other words, away from the remote control. And it's a little tiny dot. You can't even see the lights on the damn thing anymore. But he flies it really, really far out there. But he uses the video as his method of at least trying to navigate himself as he flies.
It's just,
until you lose the video feed. Then what do you do?
At some point, you lose your video feed because you just don't. Technology, I guess. We're just not at that point. At some point, we're not connecting anymore, and
the camera
I don't.
Here.
I fly based on what I know. I know where it is, and I just know where it is. I don't fly it. That's how I fly it. I know it's out there.
But the
I know what's back.
The display gives you an arrow that gives you
a green arrow.
Back to home station. Yeah,
you realize that you're not going to be.
That's all right. So
there's a home arrow that shows up on your display no matter whether you have your video feed or not. There's that arrow that points. That arrow points to where the ground station is, to where you are.
And this was confusing to me, and this is why I've never actually used it. Marcus is much more comfortable flying it than I am because he's got that dexterity with the hand and eye coordination that I don't really have. But I'm learning it. But it's at my age, it just takes a whole lot longer to get comfortable with it. He'll get it up there and fly it. He'll take it off of GPS altogether. By the way, the ground station and the drone itself requires 6 satellite connections by virtue of GPS before you can safely fly in a GPS tethered capacity or manner. And he does it off of GPS and will fly it 50 feet above the air. And it's, twice as fast, would you say? It flies twice as fast?
1.5 times. It's way faster. 1.5. It's fast. When it's off GPS, that thing...
But it
still doesn't do anything.
You're in complete control.
I tried to flip it at Memorial Park. I tried to flip it.
Yeah.
I ran it full forward. I full forward,
Yeah,
and
and
then
it was like this.
and then
when it
I
would stop
tried, and then
go.
I tried to yank the controls back, and I tried to pull it. I tried to flip the thing upside down. I didn't have the camera on it, so if it did crash, it would have been broken blades. That's it.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
did not. The thing would not flip upside down. That is what restored my confidence from crashing this one.
in the middle of a city street.
Because when I crashed that one, I had crash phobia, and it made me very
Hesitant to do anything risky.
because they're not cheap. I mean, you go look at BestBuy.com. They're not cheap crafts.
But-
So when you crash one, you immediately become reserved on everything you do from then on. So flying it off GPS and literally trying. I mean, I got aggressive with the controller. I tried to flip it. I tried to crash it. I was trying to dance the thing around so much that it would turn upside down and crash. And I was
in
only
tall grass, by the way.
and I was only 10 feet.
You don't want to flip that on the street.
I was only
Did you
10
have your camera on?
I was only 10 feet off the ground. And no, I didn't have the camera on it. So if it did crash, like I said a minute ago, it would have just been broken blades, which is why we were doing it that way. It was a pure test, and it was a safe test.
I'm glad you were doing it because I
And-
didn't have the guts to do that.
And
to
it
mine.
was, but it restored faith that these things are so self-stabilizing. They don't want to do anything but hover. You have to make them do anything but hover.
Right.
But hover. And as soon as
On
you
GPS,
and as
yeah.
soon as you even off GPS, as soon as you let go, they want to just hover. Now off GPS, they tend to drift because they don't have a locking they don't have locking coordinates to keep them in one spot. But they still want to just hover. They don't want to just even off GPS.
Are you sure? Is that how you sensed it? Because I've never done it off GPS. And I hesitate because I'm worried that when it gets... what if you're 100, 200, 300 feet in the air?
It's susceptible to the wind. Yeah, if the wind
That's
pulls it and then boom, it's
different.
gone. and
But
it
when
flies
you were
away.
flying in the park, you
I
didn't
was
have
only
that issue.
No, because I was only 10, 15 feet off the ground. I was right in front of us.
Because Marcus wants to take it off GPS and go 600, 700 feet up in an open area with hopefully with low winds, so we can at least and hopefully get video. Wouldn't that be badass? Of that altitude, even though FAA. Look at that. We got our FAA registration. How about that? Huh? Both of us. We're legal. We're all kinds of legal. Paid $5 for this too. It's very expensive. I'm still trying to pay that loan off, but
Is there interest on it?
there's interest. Everything the government
What's the
does
interest?
is 2.7%. But
On $5?
yeah.
What's your minimum payment?
38 cents. And
Are you making your payments?
I missed it last month.
You missed it?
I know, but I'll pay the the 74 cents plus interest next time.
There
I will
goes
do it.
your credit score.
The FAA is going to say you are not credible to fly these crafts, much less be able to pay your debts. But I'm Richard Tetra.
Tetra.
Not see. There's no. It's TETR. My name just ends. It felt right off.
Oh, it just
It's Tetri.
Tetra.
Tetter.
Tetra.
You Tetter.
Well, if you were to pronounce it the way it's supposed to be, it's Tetra. Tetra.
See,
that's-
see, and yet they're charging me
and it-
$5 with interest to pay that bill,
Then they
and
can't
they
even
can't even,
get
they
you-
can put my whole damn name on there. I should complain about that, but nevertheless, Marcus did his, and his name is spelled out Tetralt,
Is it?
Tetralt all the way across.
How do you know?
I've seen your
It's mine.
card. You showed it to me. Yours is Tetralt. Mine is Tetchy, and I don't know what the hell happened, but anyway. We're really, really, really excited about this. We haven't flown them in the last 60 days because of the heat of the summer.
It's just hot. It's
And-
just
and
it's
they-
not
they
fun to
take
be out there. It's
The
just
camera and everything takes humidity differently. So we're going to start up again in October, 30 days from now. We got a lot of ideas. I think we're going to Herman Park, maybe back to the Galleria and do some work down
east
there.
side of downtown, south side of downtown, NRG Stadium. Those are good shots.
Oh, NRG Stadium, yeah. We on a non-game
Pasa,
day.
get down Dina. Maybe some refinery shots.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's unique to Houston. We're a refinery city. We're an oil
And I
capital.
think that I think if we do it reasonably, then I don't think we'll have any problem with the authorities if we're flying over areas that may be considered sensitive.
Well, refineries aren't under the guidelines of this. This is
What are those guidelines?
populated areas, airports, of events.
400 feet altitude
400.
max.
You have to keep under 400 feet and less. That's really it. Is it on here?
Yeah, that's really it.
Fly below 400
there we go.
feet. Never fly near other aircraft. Keep your drone within visual line of sight. Keep away from emergency responders. Never fly over stadiums,
Or
sport events, or groups of people. Now, so never fly over stadiums. That's the NRG stadium. Flying over.
But
even,
if the stadium is empty and there's not an event, you're flying over a structure. You're flying over a building. You're flying over...
never fly over stadiums, sports events, or groups of people. These are comma, comma, comma. Never fly over stadiums. That I say we still do it. I don't think we're gonna get.
That's splitting hairs.
It is. Never fly under the influence of drug or alcohol because you don't want to.
The drone can't fly under the influence, or we can't
We
fly
can't
the drone.
fly.
Under
Yeah, the drone can be as
oh
drunk
well,
as it
then
wants.
hell. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
all
no,
right. Well,
we
we'll
don't. We
fake
can't.
that
The
one. We'll fake that one.
we know FWIs,
FWIs.
flying while under the influence.
Oh, we don't need that. We don't need
And
that.
then
yeah.
never fly within 5 miles of an airport without first
Define an airport.
without first contacting air traffic control and airport authorities. So you could fly within 5 miles of an airport, but you have to contact air
But
traffic
you would have
control.
to have a real specific need.
Well,
we
what-
want to fly over your airport because we want to do X. Well,
Well, yeah,
we wouldn't have that X need.
No,
I mean,
they
that's
wouldn't
just-
give us. No, if we were 2 miles from George Bush and we said we want to fly over your airport and get some, they go, no, piss off.
I wouldn't blame them.
No, of course I
Your
would
stupid
too.
little drone.
No, you're
Yeah.
not. You're not
Totally
flying in
agree.
our airspace. No, we've got international planes. No. Go away.
Yeah.
And that I expect that. I wouldn't even pose the question because
See, and I think that makes sense.
and we did try to fly it at your brother's house in his backyard
Which was in San Antonio, the Shirts
with
area.
a few miles from
Randolph Air Force
Kelly or
Base.
Kel-
Randolph.
Kelly's in the same area, right?
Kelly's on the far south side of San Antonio.
So we were next. So the Randolph was our.
Randolph is an active Air Force base. Actually, Kelly, I don't think is.
What's the one south of us that's inactive? The Air Force base that I have the air show at that Clinton made inactive.
Randolph Air Force Base.
That's here.
Oh, you're talking
Ellington Field.
Ellington Field is south, but that's also closed. Been closed forever.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking Randolph is within a couple miles of your brother's house.
Yeah. Well, obviously
very.
less than 5, but probably not more than about 2. I did a Google aerial on it, and it really isn't that far. The runways aren't that far, so.
They're right down the street then.
Yeah,
So
and when
because
they
we
came
tried
in,
to fly him at your brother. We tried to fly him
very
at your
low.
brother's house, and on the screen of the
Ground station, it actually
said
says, you can't
easiest
fire
way
up
to
this
say
drone.
it is you're grounded. You're
Yeah.
not. We're not letting you fly.
The drone would not power up, which
yeah.
was amazing in the
You
backyard. Marcus is hitting the power up button. Nothing
and it
happened.
won't let. It would not. The engines wouldn't turn
Amazing
on
technology.
Because
Absolutely amazing.
because now is that amazing and slightly eerie that you are. It knows where you are and it knows you're within. But at the same time, I want it to do that because in today's
keeps you out of trouble. If
in
nothing
today's
else.
world, if you fly these little drones into an active Air Force base on accident, the DOD doesn't care if it was an accident.
No.
They don't care. They're going to come. You're going to get knocked on the door, and you've got federal problems. And they don't care if it was an accident.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the ignorance is bliss? They don't care. They're ignorant. They don't.
Or
doesn't
ignorance
matter.
of the law is no excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care that you've got problems, serious problems, and very possible.
It's really
jail
funny
time.
that Mr. Tree Trunk, you brought down a military training aircraft that cost $2.8 million, even though it's to a 20-year-old training aircraft, it crashed. The pilot ejected, but your little drone brought that thing down. It'd be funny if you go, my drone cost $1,000 damn dollars. What are you gonna do about that? I'm out $1,000. You're out 2.3 million. I'm out $1,000.
Yeah,
It's
or
a different scale, different scale, but it's bigger for me than you.
My tax dollars paid for that 2 point.
I
So
got a
I'm out
partial
my
investment.
taxes.
I'm screwed twice.
Yeah, I gave
And you're
you the
pissed
money.
off at me?
And yeah, it's my fucking fault.
Damn. I mean, I'm
You should buy
thinking
some
you should be
better
cutting a check.
Buy some better planes that don't get taken down by little plastic
Stupid
drones.
little drones. God, you
If that's all
wussies.
it takes to take down our Air Force, then maybe we should reinvest our aircraft.
I think so
that's,
too. I think so too.
No, my
I think
damn
we're on to
fault.
something. I think we're on to something. Because, I mean, really? That little plastic toy?
The next venture is to see how much those can carry. Go to
let's
the
do that.
park.
Let's do that.
Go to the park and tie a fish line to one of these
Both
legs,
sides of the legs.
and then try to pick up something of
Like a 6-pack.
yeah, something that has weight to a 6-pack. Ooh,
That's a lot. All
That's
right,
a lot.
Maybe
no,
a
six.
single beer in a koozie and deliver it to somebody on about a 24-inch string, and you wrap it around, and then you put it there, and then you pick the drone up, and when it gets there, the string gets taut, and then you can go whoop, and you can and we can video that and fly that to somebody, set it down, they can take it, and then the drone takes off. Would that not be cool? Let's try that.
Yeah, we have to do that.
We have to try that.
We have to. No,
Well,
no,
you and I
try
can do
it.
that alone.
Do it.
I could be the recipient. You just fly it to me. We'll set the thing up on this side.
Yeah.
And then and you fly it over, and then I'll record it when it comes down. That's a great idea. We'll do that. Look forward to that in the future.
Yeah,
That's a fall project.
yeah. Let it get a little cooler outside. All
So
right.
anyway, that's the scoop. You know what I want to do? I want to watch Wayne's World.
That's a stupid movie.
I watched it once, like 15 years ago, and I saw it. They did a thing on. I was watching an episode of Pawn Stars. I love Pawn Stars, and they brought in the black guitar that Mike Myers brought in. You know, that
The
was kinda funny.
Stratford, the Stratocaster, or
It was a Stratocaster, but it was actually not a Stratocaster, but and I thought, oh, and then we kept talking about the scenes where he walks into the guitar store, and there's a sign that says "No Stairway to Heaven."
yeah, do not play Stairway to Heaven.
And it made me think that's hilarious because everybody goes do 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 do, and I thought that was hilarious. I thought it's probably a really funny movie to watch. You want to watch it?
Not really.
Not
It's
watching.
It's not my style of humor. It's that stupid slapstick. Mike
Slapstick
Myers.
is funny. Slapstick is funny. He likes that dry,
Yeah, but I do like Blazing Saddles, and we just lost Gene Wilder. I do like that. I
That's a shame, Gene Wilder. Wow.
yeah.
What a
Well,
loss.
he was
What a
he
loss.
was at that. He was older. It was his time. It was his time to go.
Yeah, he likes Monty Python. That's his gig. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess we're not gonna put that one on. I think I want to see Wayne's World.
No,
It's
I don't
cheap.
know.
It's cheap to get. It's easy access, isn't it? I mean, you can get it easily, right? Unlike on demand or something, right?
Maybe I don't know. It just
Maybe
depends.
you just need to want to watch it. That's all. All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back and talk about something else. Shit, I have
Are we
no
gonna take
idea.
an obscene profit timeout?
There's no profit. I wish there were.
An obscene? Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
have an
we're not gonna do
obscene
that.
profit. No, our breaks aren't obscenely
I know they're not
Covering
obscene of any sort.
profit.
All right, let's go. We're gonna roll.
All right, when you want to cut it. What irritates me is the level of like short-term memory loss in this country. It's because we're such a hot off the press, breaking news. That's all we care about. Breaking news today doesn't matter in a week. It could
24-hour news cycle.
I mean, I'm talking scandals, huge scandals, things of that matter break news on Tuesday morning, and by Wednesday afternoon, we're talking about Kaepernick not standing for the national anthem. Which again, I mean, that's not that's not news worthy. I think it is, but it's funny.
I think we have way bigger problems than some
somebody
football player deciding to make a
exercising
stand.
their First Amendment right, which
Yeah,
it is. I defend his right to do so,
Sure.
but I still call him a piece of shit for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in that venue. Do it somewhere else. Just don't do it in the place that makes you all the money that you
But
want.
do you?
That's-
But
makes
do you, or do you not agree that he has the right to do it?
He has the right to do it, but he has low class to do it in a venue that makes
True.
him gazillions of damn dollars.
Yeah.
Makes him look like a selfish piece of crap. I mean, or at least,
And
or
then-
at least immature. in
And
my
then be
opinion.
the one to say that blacks are victimized, or what? They're just blacks are victimized in this country when he's a black male playing in the NFL, making millions of dollars, throwing a football, most likely to another black man who is making millions of dollars to be
Well,
on
yeah, if you're
TV.
going to make it about race, you picked the wrong venue for that.
Because blacks dominate the NFL.
Well, they dominate-
And basketball.
And basketball, not so much baseball,
Or
not
hockey.
so much soccer.
Or hockey. Hockey, you don't see a lot
Or-
of blacks in
or-
hockey. Swimming. Oh, whoop. I didn't say...
They don't swim very well.
You don't see... There's
They're
a
not
reason
swimmers, they
Michael
just-
Phelps...
bloop, bloop,
Michael
bloop, bloop,
Phelps
bloop, bloop,
is... Michael Phelps is white.
He's a white dude, but he's a good
But,
swimmer.
okay, so
everybody's
don't-
got their strengths. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's
And there's no reason to apologize for saying that.
And I'm not gonna apologize. Blacks
No.
don't swim well. Well, whites don't jump well. Apparently, whites don't.
No, we don't jump where the shit.
We can't
actually.
dunk a ball like the blacks can. So,
No,
they
so
make
it's
millions
okay.
playing basketball.
I can make fun of you and your faults, and you can make fun of me and my faults. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it. That's a. So it's not that he picked.
See, the problem is you can't make fun of anything. They've changed. it
No,
where
it's that you can't make fun of blacks. You can make fun.
No,
of,
you can't really make fun
You
of
can make fun
anybody.
of no bullshit. You can make fun of whitey.
Well, and you can make fun of
Rednecks.
Christians. Yeah, Christians. As
You can
well.
make fun of rednecks.
And
you can
Republicans.
and nobody
Republicans
cares
and-
about that. But the second you attack, but that's the.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
see,
that's true,
what
that's
that's
true.
the what the beauty is. The beauty is comedy. Guys like Daniel Tosh. Watch Tosh.0.
Oh, he's funny as hell.
He attacks
Everything.
everything. He has no filter.
But comedians can get away with being politically incorrect because they have the comedic
that's the medium. Comedy is the
that
medium.
allows that.
But look at comedians like Kevin Hart, Aziz Ansari. They stopped.
You know Aziz Ansari?
Yeah.
Oh, he's funny.
Yeah. He's an Indian guy.
I listen to him on XM radio all the time. He's
And,
hilarious. Very well spoken.
They
too.
stop. Yep. But they don't play college campuses anymore because they say college campuses are too politically correct. Their jokes get booed because they're not PC.
Right.
They're
right,
offensive.
right, Yeah.
And they're
that's
like,
the best part about it is that they're not. They're not
yeah,
PC.
they're supposed to be offensive.
Yeah,
that's the whole
that's what
point.
makes
Is
it
they're
funny.
supposed to be offensive.
Blazing Saddles, if it were to be made today, would be just completely.
It wouldn't be worth.
They
watching.
wouldn't take it to the.
It would be. Nobody would
a
watch.
pre-screening. They wouldn't do it because
Being offensive is the point. And if you can't laugh at that,
at each other? Why can't we?
if you can't laugh at the offensiveness of it, then you're taking life too seriously. You're shrewd.
You're robotically
just
sort of
and
falling
it's
into
a
that.
sad.
That's wrong.
I'm
That's
sorry.
wrong.
That's a sad life to live.
I agree.
I'm more goofy than that. I can laugh at humor. I can laugh at racism. Even though it's a serious issue, I can still laugh at it. I mean, you've got to
I don't think you're laughing at the. I
I'm
don't
not
think you're laughing
laughing-
at race. You're laughing at people.
I'm laughing at the joke.
People.
That's what I'm laughing
are
at.
Stupid on so many levels, so often that you gotta laugh at it because I do stupid stuff on a daily basis.
Everybody does.
And why can't you laugh at that? Why can't you go, you're a dumbass. You're a complete dumbass.
Well,
for doing
people
what you
don't
did."
want to laugh at race because they don't want to laugh at racism and slavery, because slavery has such a
This has nothing to do with slavery.
but they tie that to
That's the
blacks.
problem. Well, then stop doing that. Stop doing that. If you're a black dumbass, I'm going to laugh at you just as much as I'm going to laugh at a white dumbass, because there's just as many of both. Actually, there's more black dumbasses than there are anything else, but that's just volume. That's just numbers. Was that politically incorrect? Oh,
That
it
was
was,
definitely
but
not
it's
politically
true, so
correct.
never mind.
Well, statistics don't lie. Go to
Statistics don't
Chicago.
lie. Look at Chicago. Chicago is run by a bunch of dumbass liberals.
And they have the highest crime rate in the country. If you don't know about Chicago's,
What's
if you
the
don't,
mayor's name? I can't remember.
if you don't know about Chicago's crime rate, tune in to 740 KPRC at 8 a.m. on Monday, and you'll hear
Rahm Emanuel is the mayor of New York.
you'll hear
Chicago.
the weekend Chicago. How does he introduce it?
I don't know.
Chicago Weekend Crime
or something.
Report. Chicago
But
Weekend
that's
Crime.
not the point.
It is
Rahm
the point,
Emanuel was
though.
in the Barack Obama administration his first term, and then he left the administration after the second election in 2012 and got elected as mayor of Chicago in 2000 something, 12 or 13, I forget. I don't know the exact time. And then look at that city. Look at that city.
Oh, it's a
run by
hellhole.
liberals. I rest my case.
And
Look
it's
at
a
Detroit, Michigan. I rest my case.
It's a crime. It's a crime-ridden city. There's
Look
people
at Texas. We're a red state,
I mean, Houston's the fourth largest city in the country, and we don't
and
have
we're kicking
nearly
ass. We're
and,
kicking ass.
and we don't have near the crime rate that the 10th largest city in the country has.
Which is what?
I'm
San
not.
Antonio.
No, San Antonio, I believe, is number 7.
Oh, it went up to 7? What's 10 now?
Oh, I don't know. It's
San Antonio went to 7?
San Antonio's in the top 10. Austin's not in it.
Well, it was 10. It used to be number 10, but I didn't know that.
But my point is Houston is the 4th largest city, and I actually don't believe it is. I believe it's the 3rd. Wait till the 2020 census. I believe
Yeah, 'cause
it'll move
people
up
are
to number
leaving
3,
Chicago.
and they're coming down here. So
That
Chicago
happened in 1978, too.
Chicago was number 3
Yeah.
or is number 3 currently. Wait till the 2020 census, and I think
Let's revisit that after the election.
and there'll be so many people that move down here that Houston will move to the number 3 largest city, Houston city in the country. The point to that is whether we're number 3 or number 4 doesn't matter. Our crime rate is still lower than cities that are
absolutely
aren't even in the top 10, and we have 1.5 million more people than they do, and our crime rate is still lower. Why? We're a red state. Concealed carry. You're talking.
We're pro-business with low taxes, low regulation. Businesses come to where they can thrive. Have you seen the
crime,
advertisements?
though.
I've seen advertisements on cable news networks where they're advertising. New York, the state of New York is advertising for businesses to come to New York. And get this, for the first 10 years, you pay no taxes in the state of New York. If you
don't
bring your
believe it.
business to that state, I do believe it.
I don't.
But
I
what
don't believe
happens
they'll
is
uphold
when you
that.
hit that 10-year mark and you've established yourself, you're profitable, you've got a big business base, you've got a
once
clientele
you're-
base huge, they're going to nail you with taxes. And it's going to put you in a position where you either have to leave or reduce the size of your business or don't expand your business altogether just to cover the tax liability that state's going to throw at you at the end of 10 years. It's a scam. I don't know why liberalism is not looked upon as a scam. The whole ideology is a scam. It's rooted in
Because they cover it up.
hypocrisy
They
for the
cover
love
it
of
up
Pete.
with public policy.
Well, no, they cover it up with what looks good.
Public policy.
We're going to do this for you.
Yeah,
and you're
public
going, wow,
policy.
that's cool. But we never learn. They've been doing this for how many years?
Well, no, I think what their biggest gun, their artillery is their Santa Claus.
True. That's
It's
true.
hard to argue with free handouts. It's
Just
hard
to a certain percentage
people,
of the population.
yes, but that's a large. It's unfortunate
Yeah,
how
no,
large
that's
a
true.
a percentage that is, because
And
They-
the 2012 election indicated
they
that
don't-
maybe more than 50%.
They don't care about anything except, is that man going to continue to give me my check? He is. I don't care if it's an R, a D, or an I. I will vote for him as long as my check continues to come.
How
I don't
did we
care.
get here? How did we get here? How did we
FDR
get to the
FDR.
Yeah, that's
He the welfare
yeah,
state.
Yeah.
Government
Well,
handouts.
Lyndon Johnson didn't help with
the
Great
government
Society.
handouts to people who cannot fend for themselves. What are you kidding me? We're all able-bodied Americans. Some of us aren't, and I
As a
understand that.
conservative,
and the
if you
ones
can't fend for yourself, I am all about
helping.
taxpayer dollars to take care of you for the rest of your life.
Stacey.
If you cannot, Stacey,
Stacey.
good example. She can't, on her own, she couldn't do it.
She has a disease she was born with. She
I'm
is in a wheelchair.
compassionate. I want to help that person.
Yes, that's what.
Indefinitely. But if you're a physically able person and you're just too damn lazy to work and you want the government to pay for your shit, sorry. Either carry your weight like everybody else does or get the hell out. One of the two. I have no patience for it. I have no patience
and
for
that's and
it. You have the freedom to be that way, but if you want other people to subsidize what you can't do for yourself just because you're too damn lazy or refuse to do it, no.
Yeah.
No. That's not what this country's built on.
and that's what people argue against is like Stacey. Well, how are you going to pay for Stacey? Like Stacey, well, she was born
I'm
that way.
happy to pay for Stacey.
Yeah,
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
but she's a small percentage.
Oh, very small.
Very small.
Stacey, by the way, has MS?
No, MD.
What is
Muscular
that?
dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy.
I just talked to her
She's
about
in
this
one of the
like
wheel, and she's a
yesterday.
smaller than average adult. She's only probably her total.
I think she's like 4'10"
is
if you had
4
to stand
feet.
her up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we talked. She
she's in a
told
wheelchair
me.
pretty much 24.
Well, she lives in her wheelchair. Jason takes her out.
But she intellectually is a
Oh,
healthy,
she
vibrant
has a-
woman, and
has a
she's
degree
funny,
from-
and she's,
yeah, has a degree
I
from U of
love her to
H.
death. I love her to
Yeah,
death.
has a degree from U of H. I mean, she's
Yeah.
intellectually is she's
But
just
without
physically
Jason, who would take care of her?
her mom and sister.
Okay, well then they're not. But let's just assume for a second that maybe she didn't have family. Who would take care of a person like her? As a conservative Republican, I'd say as Americans, that's where taxpayer dollars can be best used. Aside from the military and for infrastructure, people who cannot physically or intellectually or emotionally fend for themselves, I'm all about taking care of them for the rest of their lives. Taking care of them well.
Well, yeah,
But the able bodies, no. What would you suggest as a percentage
but
of
Stacey
able
can
bodies
also,
that
but
can't-
Stacey can also work. That's the thing is she's intellectually capable. She can work. She can. Stacey
Yeah,
has
but she can't drive a car. She can't.
No.
She's not mobile to a real degree.
No.
So
but she can
you've
work
got to be able to subsidize that to some extent.
to some extent, but not fully. If Stacey had to go on her own, there are
If
jobs.
Stacey had to go on her own, she would have to be subsidized from beginning to end. Period. Because she can't do what.
Well, she has
and
that-
a lot of people like that can't, and I think that's where you provide them with the environment, the housing, and
Yeah, and that's we've allocated
Okay,
enough of
so
our tax dollars to other stupid things that I would rather put it into things like that.
Right. I don't disagree. But conservatism is like that. Liberalism is not like that. Liberalism is we want to keep as many able-bodied people under the certain government dole.
It's a
if you will.
plantation. It's a plantation.
Yeah, and yet they're the ones who claim that,
They're civil rights activists.
and they're not. They were the ones in the 1960s who were against the civil rights movement. They were opposed to it, and they know they
That's
were,
what they don't-
And
that's
there's
what-
proof of that.
Yeah, look at
And the
at the
Republicans
history.
are the ones who wanted the freedom of the slaves.
It's
They wanted-
frustrating. It's frustrating how
The media distorts it.
it's frustrating how backwards
History's not
that
being
is.
told.
It's
Robert Byrd was a KKK member, and he's a liberal Democrat. I rest my case.
Look at
There's just, I mean,
Bill Clinton's
the
mentor.
evidence is huge.
Bill Clinton's is that the same guy? Bill Clinton's mentor.
Oh, I don't.
What's the Alinskyeites?
You're talking about
Well, that's
Saul
not,
Alinsky he was an author of a book called The Rules for Radicals.
yeah, he's a radical guy.
But
yeah.
I don't think he was Bill
Clinton's
Clinton's.
mentor.
I think-
She just read his books.
I think Hillary
Hillary.
Clinton liked Saul Alinsky.
I'm not. So I digress. Well, I didn't. I didn't.
And I
digress.
can't tell you, I've never read the book. I don't know. I just know enough about it that it's really a way to try to change a society over a period of time by doing certain things, one of which I believe is political correctness, which is, in my opinion, in my strong opinion,
That's
is
the root of all evil.
it's a stealth form of censorship.
Well, it's not.
a
It's barely
way-
stealth. It's barely stealth.
Well, not nowadays, but in the beginning it was. Back in the early 90s, it was sort of like, and they tried to shame you into to not saying things. Nowadays, it's brutal. Nowadays, if you say, I don't believe in X, you're criticized because you're expressing your opinion against another person's opinion. And that's the downfall of freedom. If you're willing to do that, then you're willing to let go of your First Amendment rights. And I think that that's happening more and more.
So what? But
The Second Amendment
Alinsky
is another thing under
Alinsky,
attack, actually.
it's. Well,
Why do we have a train on the table?
Oh, I thought it looked good.
It does look good. 6-axle, 6,000 horsepower,
That's what those have.
diesel electric locomotive. I love diesel electric. You know what's really cool? Can I paint a picture for you? I mean, for you. When you go up to a street and there's a railroad track, and you go up to the railroad track and you get right up to the edge and you look to the right, don't you really, in your heart of hearts, want to see that really tiny light way down there of a train coming down the tracks?
Which is what light?
Is this one and then these two down here. Have you ever done that? You cross the road track, you look to the right, you look to the left, and you kind of, in your just subliminally almost, you want to look and you want to see that light. There's a train coming. Not right there, but about a mile down the track. It's just a white, strong light right there. And I saw one. Actually, I see them all the time on.
I see them all the
Hempstead
time on
Highway.
Hempstead. Yeah, I
And
see
it's
them.
so cool. It's like, oh, that train, and you're not in any danger. But dude, there's a certain part of you that goes, I'm crossing the tracks, and here comes a train. You know, and there's something about railroad tracks that.
Well, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of cargo. They're pulling a lot.
Each wheel has
Only-
the equivalent of about a dime's of distance across the wheel and the track itself. That's the traction, is about the size of a dime
That's all
for
all
each
that-
wheel.
Each wheel
And
only
this thing
touches the
weighs-
surface area is a dime. That's the way to say that. The surface that the wheel touches the track is a dime. That's how little is actually touching.
The actual contact.
And that's why it has that hose that sprays sand.
And the sand gives
So
it traction so the wheels can turn. But I was just trying to think what the weight of this engine is. The weight is, don't make me lie, I think it's 240,000 pounds, I think.
I don't know. But
But we got to go. Oh, shit, we got to go.
we just saw the clock.
I know, the clock's about to, we
just-
got to go.
we didn't
Love
look-
you guys. Hey, we're out
We
of here.
didn't see the clock, but the clock is ticking, and the clock is.
Hey, we're out
We
of here.
can't.
We're out.
We
Yeah,
can't.
we're gone. I mean, your camera's going to die.
Well,